Let's talk about Shedeur Sanders for a moment. And I said I wasn't going to really get into this, but I don't do any sports commentating. Never really debated sports. It's not really been my thing. My team is obviously the Dallas Cowboys. But let's get into why I always have an affection for Kent State and the state of Ohio and the Cleveland Browns. All right. When I went off to college, I kind of got behind the eight ball, and last minute thing, coach finally had to try to get me in the school, and I wound up at Kent State. This was back during the Ron Blackledge era, and so I was going to come in from the bottom, and there was things going on back home. My grandmother's was sick, and just situations, and I wound up leaving Kent State. One of the worst things, I dreamt about going back for years and years and years. And so let's just give you the introduction as to why, Cleveland or the state of Ohio means something to me, all right? So I go off to Kent State. I wind up coming back home, and that opportunity just went by the wayside, right? And so it was years. We just went back, and I've been wanting to go back to Ohio for years, back on campus, and we finally got back there. I took my wife, my daughter, and my grandson. We went up to my wife's nephew's house in Ohio. I hadn't been back in many, many years, right? So we go on campus. I wanted to show them the campus. They always wanted to see. I talked about Kent State a lot, and so we went on campus. So that's the prelude to my comments about Shedeur Sanders and he being drafted by the Cleveland Browns, right? One of the things I also remember about being on campus at Kent State was during football season, if you walk through the fall and the leaves are down and you're out there and the students, everybody's got their windows open, Cleveland is playing Pittsburgh. Oh my God, what a story, right? And so you got a lot of students from Pittsburgh that are right next door. The state of Pittsburgh is right next door to Ohio. And so a lot of students from Pittsburgh on Kent State's campus. And so you'll hear the roars as if you're in the stadium. And so that was always a memorable moment for me, and something I always thought about, right? And so getting back there, I picked this shirt up, right? I had some other Kent State gear. Then I had a blanket back when we were on campus. And so, actually I also have the tray from the cafeteria, right? And so after my wife and daughter seen these things, it was just a privilege to get back on campus. Took some pictures in front of my own dormitory, Verda Hall. I was studying interior design at the time, architecture. I like drawing. And pretty good with my hands, all right? So enough of that. So as you see, Cleveland takes Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round, all right? And everybody's up in arms. I'm frustrated. I'm like watching it. Everybody's watching. It's national news, right? And it's still continuing. And we're now exactly 1 week away from the actual draft a week ago, right? And so now, as of today, earlier today or yesterday, Shedeur Sanders' Cleveland jersey is #1, rookie #1 jersey, all right? So, again, this is one of those things where, the world has its preferences, people have its preferences, and things go the way they don't always, the way you plan them. So one of his first stops, which was absolutely a beautiful situation, and I know someone somewhere will try to make it into what it's not, right? But his stop to a high school campus. Now, why I'm doing this is because right now I am an ISS instructor. I was a beginning teacher in the school system here 2 years ago, and I was teaching world history and social studies world history. And so that has always been I've always been in love with history. I had a high school substitute teacher named Manziel, right? And he just could rattle off these dates. And so that was always amazing to me, and an outstanding guy, right? And so I've always had this affection for history. So I'm teaching history those last 2 years in high school, and I took a position now as a middle school ISS instructor, right? So Shedeur stopping by in high school is phenomenal, right? In an age where we got NYs or YNs, as they are, I got that back, a little dyslexic, YNs running around, and everybody's crazy. And I get a plethora of students through ISS that, you know, they've got different issues. They're going off on the teachers. There's some conflicts there. And what I constantly try to do is motivate them. And so it's a difficult task, but when you can get somebody like a Shedeur Sanders to come on campus and talk to these kids, and that's one of the first stops he makes when he gets to Ohio, it's just a beautiful thing. So there's an interview that's being done and is being asked to go viral because he's making a lot of intelligent answers and responses to questions he's being asked about the events surrounding the draft and or the actual the infamous call that he got, the prank call. I don't like pranks. I don't like prank callers. You know, it's not fun, but everybody's got their thing, right? And so he handles this in a very mature way, this interview. And so as I listen to it, and I'm driving home from school today, you know, and it's basically labeled, hey, let this go viral, basically, or something like that. And so, you know, if you listen to this young man and what Coach Prime has done with young people all of his life, and, you know, with the different leagues that he's coached all the way up to Jackson, up to Colorado, I mean, everybody's not gonna love you. Everybody's not gonna like you. And I say that to say this. When I have students coming into ISS, I have the student code of conduct, and we go over all of those issues, and I'm telling them that, look, everybody's not gonna like you. Do you like everybody? One student said, well, do teachers have their favorites? And before I answered, I said, well, do you think students have their favorite teachers? And everyone paused, and she said, yeah. I said, well, then everybody has their likes and dislikes. That's just the way of the world. Everybody's not going to like you. They're not going to like the way you walk, the way you talk. You may not have done anything to anybody. They're just not going to like you, right? And there's not a thing you can do about it, right? So you have to learn how to get along without offending people as much as possible. But if your mere presence offends somebody, then that's not your problem, right? Now, people can take things the wrong way. I've made comments in ISS or in class, and the students are, oh, you know, you're hearing the wrong thing. You didn't hear what I meant, right? And so communication is always a difficult thing. So when you're going into interviews or situations, it can go left, go right. It can be misinterpreted. Body language. I also show them films on body language. So, you know, when they're doing things back to teachers or doing different things that are not appropriate, I mean, it's written all over your face, right? So your attitude is also worn on your sleeve, not just verbally. So these life lessons, and this is what Shedeur was doing, right? He was trying to give them encouragement and doing the right thing. And so, again, this is one of those situations where it's important that this young man is already, you know, and somebody says, you know, the trend is, well, he's been humbled. Well, okay. But guess what? Number one jersey, rookie jersey, thus far. And he's now making an impact. And if one of the things he said, apparently, was that if you don't want the culture of your team changed, obviously he's a game changer, right? Now, it's yet to be determined whether he will become all that he should be or could be, or we project him or hope that he becomes. But that's with anybody or anything. Things sometimes don't work out the way you want them to. It didn't work out the way I wanted to, going to college and playing football, right? But nonetheless, you go on and you do other things. So, but I believe he's a young man of character. Coach Prime has brought him up in the right way. He's brought all of his sons up in the right way. They're not selfish people. You cannot like them, but that's your preference. But my thing is, as the old folks used to say, if you don't have nothing good to say, just don't say nothing at all, right? But people have to have something to say. And so I'm going to have my 2 cents, and I'm going to have something to say as well. So I'm going to be following Cleveland, as all of you apparently will be. Now, we've had, through Coral Gables High School, I graduated from Coral Gables High School, my mentor, Neil Cozy, was an All-American at Ohio State, drafted to the Oakland Raiders. The first time I saw a Super Bowl ring, he came back to the high school, and we were in the weight room working out. I was like a sophomore, and he showed us the ring. He came back later after he went to Tampa, wound up doing a stint back in Miami the year that we were graduating our senior year, and he would come out to each practice. I still have the newspaper article. And as a matter of fact, that's the article that announced that I was going to Kent State. And along with other teammates, we're going to Fort Valley in Colorado as well, actually, right? And one of my best friends, Billy Roll, won 3 state championships in the state of Florida in high school, is in the Hall of Fame, State Hall of Fame. So Neil Cozy would come back, and always pour back into our community. And he also mentored a guy by the name of Frank Gore, you may know, out of Coral Gables High School, which is, he will probably be in the Hall of Fame in the next couple of years, right, if not sooner. So, and we also had a guy that Coach Roll coached, Amari Cooper, you might know that name. He went to Dallas, right, and then he came through Cleveland. And so I have this affection for Cleveland, and it's just one of those things. So I just pray that Shedeur, everything works out, and he gets a fair chance, okay? Because again, we can debate whether or not how it went down, but it's it is what it is at this point. So no two ways about it. He's there now, and he's already game changing. He's in the community. He's making waves, positive waves. And if you just give the young man a chance and not be, so ready to pounce on him and destroy him because either you dislike his father or you think he's too arrogant or he's doing the most, this is a new era, right? I'm in a school now. There's a large generational gap, but God has blessed me with the gift to be able to communicate with young people. And so I have a great relationship with these young folks. They come by, and I don't want them to come by ISS, and I'm giving them those life lessons. And I'm hard on them, right? But they appreciate it. And so it just touched my heart when Shedeur, showed up yesterday. It's running rampant throughout the social media, and he went to a high school, and that was one of his first stops. So again, Kent State, Ohio, Cleveland. Matter of fact, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this, going through orientation at Kent State, I did get an opportunity to go to Canton, and they take you through the Hall of Fame. And this is May 1st, May 4th, 1970. We had the Kent State Massacre, and that was one of the things I took my family back to see. And I have a video that I may post it briefly. It's a really short video, because we were just up there doing Thanksgiving. That was my first time back. And so May 4th will be this Sunday, memorial for the massacre at Kent State, May 4th, 1970. So being a history buff, you all look it up, do your research. But again, Shedeur, give them hell.